Science fiction has always been a bit like the eccentric uncle at a family gathering, prone to wild predictions, a touch overly fond of spectacle, but every now and then astonishingly spot on. Sure, some of it's all spaceships and laser swords, but the really interesting sci-fi, the kind that lingers like the smell of an old protein shaker, offers a proper nose around the corners of our potential future. And here we are, living in a world that feels like it's been cobbled together from various film plots. Let's have a gander at some of the sci-fi classics that not only predicted the future, but practically went ahead and invented it. Take her 2013, for example. Joaquin Phoenix plays a man so lonely he falls in love with his AI assistant. Sounds bonkers, right? Well, fast forward to today and we're all having slightly too personal chats with Siri, Alexa, or whatever newfangled chatbots making the rounds. Spike Jonze's film essentially predicted our modern tech obsession, with algorithms now deciding what we fancy watching, buying, or doom scrolling. Let's not forget how this film gave us a cheeky preview of the products we now worship: Apple's slick gadgets, OpenAI's conversational AIs, and every virtual assistant that promises to make life easier but somehow ends up just spying on us instead. The real question is, when AI gets bored of us, will it ghost us like Samantha did poor Theo, or will it be a full-on Terminator meltdown? Contagion 2011. What a laugh riot that turned out to be, eh? Steven Soderbergh's pandemic thriller pretty much gave us the script for 2020, and we still managed to muck it up. Panic buying? Check. Dodgy conspiracy theories about miracle cures? Check. Everyone suddenly becoming an armchair epidemiologist? Big check. Watching it now feels less like fiction and more like a nostalgic documentary of the early lockdown days. Let's not forget how science in the film, vaccines, lab wizardry, all that jazz, mirrors real-world innovations from places like the CDC or even NASA, who worked overtime during COVID to repurpose tech and figure out solutions. It's a grim reminder that sometimes we don't just watch sci-fi, we live it. And then there's The Matrix, 1999, which warned us about virtual worlds taking over our lives. It's a fair shout we might not be living in a simulation, although jury's still out, but we're all jacked into digital spaces anyway. Social media, TikTok, gaming, even Zuckerberg's hilariously awkward metaverse. None of it's far off from Neo dodging bullets in a VR playground. And don't get me started on all the wearable tech and VR headsets, like those from Oculus or Apple, that were basically dreamt up by a Matrix-inspired committee. If the machines do rise, they'll probably just delete our Netflix subscriptions and watch us crumble. The Truman Show, 1998, was supposed to be absurd, right? A man unknowingly living his life on TV with everyone watching him brush his teeth and moan about traffic. Fast forward to today, and we've got reality TV, influencers documenting their daily oat milk purchases, and everyone flogging their personal brand on Instagram. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, they're all turning us into willing Trumans, desperate for likes and views. Peter Weir's satire may have seemed like a wild idea in the 90s, but it's practically a prophecy for the age of oversharing. Someone get Jim Carrey on TikTok, he'd probably do numbers. Of course, Blade Runner, 1982, has been scarily accurate about, well, most things. Sentient AI, tick, pervasive advertising, double tick, a climate that feels increasingly off-kilter, unfortunately also tick. Ridley Scott's rainy, neon-soaked Los Angeles might have seemed like a distant nightmare, but today's targeted ads, relentless surveillance, and chatty robots are unsettlingly close. Even NASA's robotics program and Elon Musk's obsession with AI owe a cheeky nod to this film's replicants. Give it a few years, and your delivery drone might start asking you existential questions along with dropping off your takeaway. And speaking of rogue robots, who can forget the Terminator 1984? Back then, the idea of AI going bonkers and deciding humanity's surplus to requirements seemed a bit of a giggle. Now though, with AI systems getting cleverer by the day, Skynet doesn't feel so far-fetched. Companies like OpenAI and Google are charging ahead with machine learning, but let's just hope their creations don't develop a taste for world domination. And if they do, can someone check if Arnie's still up for the job? Let's take a moment to appreciate 2001, A Space Odyssey, 1968, a film that predicted not just one or two things, but an entire lifestyle. From video calls to tablets, HAL 9000's sinister charm echoes in the gadgets we rely on today. Cheers for that, Stanley Kubrick. The waltzing space stations and AI-run tech gave NASA and Apple a roadmap for innovation. And let's not forget HAL's infamous line, "I'm sorry, Dave, I'm afraid I can't do that." Chilling, yes, but let's be honest. Most of us have probably shouted something similar at our Wi-Fi routers in the last week. Now, The Running Man, 1987, might not have hit the bullseye with televised death matches, but it wasn't too far off. Modern reality TV is a circus of humiliation, with shows like Big Brother and Love Island serving up drama for a voyeuristic audience. David Zaslav's empire, including Naked and Afraid, owes more to Schwarzenegger's dystopian romp than anyone's willing to admit. Let's just hope we don't end up watching Hunger Games style competitions on primetime telly, although I wouldn't put it past Netflix. Finally, we arrive at Minority Report 2002, the piece de resistance of sci-fi predictions. Spielberg's masterpiece didn't just imagine a world of psychic crime prevention, it practically invented predictive tech as we know it. Today, police forces use data-driven algorithms to predict crime hotspots, while advertising tracks your every move. The retina-scanning billboards from the film, swap those for cookies and targeted ads that know what you want before you do. And let's not forget all the touchscreens and gesture-controlled gadgets that Spielberg worked with tech firms to visualize, many of which inspired the very products we now swear by. Apple, Google, and even Microsoft owe a hefty thank you note to this film. Minority Report stands out not just for its spooky accuracy, but for grappling with the ethical dilemmas that come with such advancements. Sure, personalized ads and predictive policing sound useful until they start infringing on your privacy. Spielberg's future wasn't just cool, it was a cautionary tale wrapped up in shiny tech and Tom Cruise running very dramatically. What movies did I miss? And what do you think? Just a coincidence? Or did these films actually inspire people to go out and invent these things? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more film-related content. Until next time, peace out.